Todoroki stared at the two little girls in front of him. He'd found them randomly sitting alone in the park while he was out shopping. Both of the girls had split-colored hair, and one of them had jewel-colored eyes. But that wasn't what drew Todoroki's attention. He noticed that one part of the girl's hair was the color of your hair, and the other part was one of the colors of his hair. The girl with the differently colored eyes also had the color of your eyes. They kinda looked like my love child with... Todoroki stopped short as the thought of you entered his mind. The girl looked like Todoroki's love child. With you! You were his crush and he'd liked you for a long time, but these two girls looked like you and him combined. Suddenly, one of the girls said something that shocked him out of his thought. Daddy, is that you? The girl with jewel-colored eyes asked. Todoroki's eyes widened at the little girl's word. Could it be? No. He turned around, wondering if he was hallucinating. He had to be, right? What was he going to do now? Just walk away? Forget it was ever happened? Hey, Daddy, don't leave us! The other girl cried, reaching out and grabbing Todoroki's jacket. He stopped, turning to look at the two girls. And what do I do now? He thought, staring at the two of them. Can we go with you? They asked. Todoroki sighed, pinching the bridge of his nose. He didn't see any other choices. He couldn't take them to the police station because he knew they wouldn't be able to find their parents. Fine. Just don't cause any trouble, okay? He said, motioning for the girls to follow him. The girls' eyes lit up as they fell into place beside him, one on each side. Todoroki slowed down his walking speed, compensating for the shorter legs. So what's your names? He asked. My name's Akari. The girl with the red part of Todoroki's hair shipped. And I'm Fuyuko. The girl with the jewel-colored eyes said. Todoroki nodded slowly, glancing between the two girls. And you're twins, right? Yep. The two girls said. The barest hint of a smile crossed Todoroki's face as they entered the campus. So how did you get there? He wondered. Akari and Fuyuko exchanged a look. Well, Mommy stayed home one day, so we were walking. Akari explained. But there was a loud bang, and it sounded like fighting, you know? Fuyuko continued. Yes, there was a villain. A big one. He was fighting Charger Bolt in Red Riot. Akari cried excitedly, her eyes shining with excitement as she recounted the story. Mommy had something to Charger Bolt, but then there was this big light. I don't know what it was, but we woke up at the park later. Fuyuko chirped. Todoroki pondered the twin story. Do you remember what the villain's quirk was? Todoroki asked. The girls shrugged in unison. I don't know. But, you know, things that he pointed at were somewhere else. Sometimes high, sometimes up, you know. Akari cried, gesturing with her hands. Todoroki nodded, trying to think of a quirk that would cause such an effect. Perhaps it's some sort of displacement quirk, but that doesn't really explain how the two of you got here. He muttered. Fuyuko tugged on Todoroki's jacket to get his attention. Are we at your school, Yue? Fuyuko asked. Todoroki simply nodded. From what he gathered, Akari seemed to be the more excitable of the two girls, and Fuyuko seemed to have inherited his personality. We're going to the dorm right now. You might know some people. Todoroki sighed as he turned to the corner to see the 8 Islands building. Hey, I saw that in your old school pictures. Akari cried, jumping up and down excitedly, running ahead to look at the building up close. Todoroki hoped that they wouldn't be too weird around you. Yeah, I suppose you did. But I have to tell you something. Todoroki beckoned the two girls over. Don't call your mother. Hey, Todoroki! Todoroki froze as he heard your voice. He whirled around to see you coming towards him, smiling warmly. The girls' eyes lit up when they saw you. Akari squealed and ran towards you, jumping into your arms. You let out a surprised yelp as you called the little girls. Mommy, you're here too! Akari cried. Todoroki's left side caught fire at this, but he quickly managed to suppress it. Mommy? Todoroki, what's going on? You asked, wondering whether or not you should set the little girl down. You looked closely at the girls, noticing that she looked like a mix between you and Todoroki. Where did you find those two? You questioned, walking over with Akari still in your arms. Fuyuko was still at Todoroki's side, gripping his sleeve as she looked up at you. At the park? Apparently they're here as a result of a quirk, so I took them with me. Now that I think about it, it looked like a lot like a kidnapping. Todoroki explained. You nodded, looking suspicious. If they are here because of a quirk, why don't we take them to Recovery Girl? She should be able to figure something out. You asked. Akari's eyes lit up. Recovery Girl? I've heard you and Dad talk about her. She squealed. You looked at Akari with confusion. Dad? Akari points to Todoroki, who was resolutely looking anywhere but towards you. You immediately felt your face burn at the little girl word. If they called you Mom and Todoroki Dad, that meant that, oh my gosh. Well, let's get the two of you to Recovery Girl, okay? You laughed, nervously glancing over at Todoroki's. He nodded silently in agreement, motioning for Fuyuko to follow the two of you. They look like quite a mix between you and me, don't you think? You murmured, leaning back against the wall outside of the office next to Todoroki. You had taken the girls to Recovery Girl and was checking them up now. Todoroki didn't answer, instead turning away to look down at the empty hall. And they said they were here because of a quirk. What kind of quirk anyway, do you think? You pressed him, hoping for an answer. From Akari's rambling during the walk, you learned that the other girl's name was Fuyuko, and that they called you and Todoroki Mom and Dad. You had a feeling you knew what kind of quirk brought them here, but you had to hear Todoroki's thought. You've figured it out, haven't you? Todoroki finally murmured. You nodded in response as he turned around to face you. His face was flushed, which was surprising because you never seen Todoroki blush before. I've had feelings for you for a while now. You confessed softly, looking embarrassed. I didn't really expect the girls to appear, but I noticed that they looked like a love child between you and I, so I took them back so Recovery Girl could find a way to send them back. Todoroki looked back at you with a small sheepish smile. But I suppose a part of me wanted you to see them as well. He sighed it softly. You were surprised at Todoroki's blunt confession, smiling behind your hands. Well, after all we figure out a way to get those two back, do you want to go on a date, maybe? You suggested. Todoroki smiled, reaching out to take your hand. He lifted your hand up to his lips, brushing his lips over your knuckles. I really like that. He murmured, Yes! The two of you broke apart at Akari's squeal of joy. The two girls were standing in the doorway of the Recovery Girl's office, smiling happily. Fuyuko smiled apologetically as they approached you. Akari hugged your leg, smiling brightly. I see you in a couple years. Fuyuko murmured, reaching out to take your hands. Akari did the same with Todoroki's hands, still smiling. Have fun, Mom and Dad! She chirped as she and Fuyuko linked hands. She was a blinding flash of light, causing you and Todoroki to cover your eyes, and the girl was gone. Yes, an interesting time travel quirk that was. Recovery Girl chuckled as she walked out of her office, smiling at the two of you. Looks like they just needed the two of you to realize your feeling for each other in order to get back home. They even knew what they had to do. She chuckled, grinning at the two of you. Recovery Girl? You cried, covering your face with your hand in embarrassment. Todoroki's left side burst into flame again.
서로 아까는 이나도 서로 내일 길이 와오에 대입었을까 그 속에 지니 속아놓고